We're back, and there is the Christmas engine. I actually have a story about this engine. It came to me in a box for like $3. It was a 300 with the extra linkage, right? And it was the reversing boiler. It was complete. It didn't have one bit of paint. The entire engine and tender were rust. Everything was rust. It was terrible. So, I went to work on the chassis, and the only thing I could do was just hardwire it to forward. And then I got the engine to work a little bit, and then I didn't know what to do with the body. It was just terrible. And I was in the hobby store getting parts, screws and things, and there was a young man there, and I asked him if he was into the hobby business, and I said yes. He said yes. And he said, I asked him, do you do any painting work? He said yes, I do all kinds of painting work. I paint my figures for my battles. Apparently he was into some kind of a wargaming thing. And I said, would you be able to paint a train engine? Oh yeah, I could do that. What? How do you paint? He says, well, I have an airbrush and I could mix my own colors. And for some reason, at the time, I thought I wanted a Redskins Christmas train. I don't know why. That's what I wanted. And he said, yeah, we can do that. And I said I wanted like a burgundy and gold and then some green for Christmas. He said, sure. And I said, well, you know, I wanted a caboose to match. Could you do the caboose to match? He says, yes, I could do that. I don't know what he paid. I paid him maybe $60. But he did a beautiful job. He filled the slot for the reverse lockout. He painted everything beautifully. And I was able to get the chassis to work barely. And I put it up and I got it working and everything was fine. My track was terrible. I hadn't figured out how to clean track very well, so it was pretty bad. In any case, over time I decided to add more features, you might say. So I added a smoke, I added a headlight, I added a tail light, and I added some sounds. And over time, I had a different layout. I had a full upper level layout on Trestle, and this engine I was running it too fast, and it came off. It came off, and it fell. It was about I don't know, 5 feet, maybe 6 feet off concrete, and it took a nosedive and damaged the electronics, and it damaged some paint. I bent the cab roof, and I kind of went backwards from there, and I just put what I had around it to get it to run. Now today what I have put in here is a whole different setup than I started with originally. It has a vintage AC Gilbert motor, armature, and fields. But it does not have the AC Gilbert wire wound fields. It has my 3D printed Magna Rosa, I call it, because they're magnets and it's red. When you make something, you can name it whatever you want. I got Magna Rosa fields, which are very powerful magnets, and I've turned the AC Gilbert armature into a DC motor. And then I had a Lionel 0103 digital reverse board, which was good for about 2 amps. And I started pulling loads and burning that thing up. And then we decided to build a board. I found the schematics for the Lionel board. I found reverse engineer white paper, and I found a friend in Andy, and Andy helped me fix my printer. He had the exact same printer, so we started talking, and he said, oh, I can help you with that. And so he created the schematics. I ordered the bare board, and we stuffed it with parts, and we smoked it. Okay, what part smoked? Well, this diode. Okay, that was on the edge. Let's get a bigger one. Got a bigger one, rebuilt it, tried it again. Something else got really hot. What was that? Oh, this TIP chip. Okay, those were 3 amps. Let's go to 4. Okay, we went through this design process quite a long time, and we finally have it now. We're at 5 amps, and this machine will stop at 4 amps. This thing doesn't stop. If you have a short, it'll fry it. So we got to be a little careful. I'm using the Blunderbuss 13B now, but it's very reliable. The motor is very strong. I'm going to start putting cars on it here in a moment, and you'll see. I'm going to take a break. I got to call my friend back, my board builder guy. That was it. I was showing you. That's 25 miles an hour according to the transformer. You know what I mean? Right there. And Austin, the rubber road is just lovely. Listen to that. All you hear is the train rolling. It's so nice. Okay. Rolling up, that's about 50. That's 60. I don't need to go fast. I really want to see the engine and see the cars are on it. Because I have some Christmas cars I'll put on it and show you. But boy, this engine on these tracks never ran so smooth. I don't know. The rubber road has to be doing something. It's maintaining level, it's maintaining continuity, it's keeping the track together. I used to have track clips. I had cork, I had masonite, or whatever that stuff is called. And it was the thing. You could see that headlight we'd be going like this, coming down. So I was going to suggest, let's do some pulls with some more cars, but let's think about what we want to put in that engine now that we have a nice reverse and a nice motor. I'm thinking it really should smoke, and I'm also thinking it's got to have a headlight, and I'd like to put in a light in the back of the tender for reverse. If you would like to see how I do that, I would film that for you and modify and continue to make this engine more exciting. I would add smoke and chuff and a headlight and a tail light, and then we'll see how we like that. Let me know. I have all kinds of things I can do here. I'm only using the 4-wheel pickup. I'm only doing that because I felt I wanted to start with the very basic. If you have an engine like a 300 and you're tired of the reverse sticking, or the motor doesn't pull very hard, or your fields are burned out, these boards are not expensive, and the fields are not expensive. So I'll be telling you more about that. I'll show you the bits and pieces and show you how they went in. It's really nice, I think. We've made an adapter and the board just sits in there and you bolt it down. It's isolated. Okay, I'm going to take a break. I'm going to come back later with some more cars and we'll talk later.